Hey y'alls, this is Solomon Rambling, and we're once again playing Angels of Death, the continuing adventures of Rachel and Zack as they escape death in the third floor basement, overloaded by female Jigsaw. So, here we go. We find ourselves in the next process where we're in a room that has no ability to go anywhere. So, basically, we got to figure out who I need to talk to and what I need to do to get into that room over there that has windows that are incredibly thick with people's hands on them and they're scratching. Like, that's actually a pretty hardcore image, and so I like the little creepiness factor right here. So, and then right here, we're getting a little more idea of what Zack knows about the other people. He's playing dumb, but then again, he is dumb, so it's uncertain if he actually knows something about these people or if he's just really so much of an idiot that he didn't ever ask anything. So right now they have a choice: do they go in or do they stay where they are? And I have two options: open the door and step through, or hold off. I clicked hold off because I was wondering, is there really anything else I could have done in this section? Can I maybe do the puzzle in a different way? But the door is locked, the windows are inaccessible, I can't interact with anything else, so I have to go in. Which brings the question, why the heck do I have the choice to choose either one? I should just be going in. Like, maybe it's awesome to pretend I'm Rachel and say, no, I don't like this, but it ultimately serves nothing. So we're in this trap room that's glorified, and what you can see is not much, just a lot of smudges. They're supposed to supposedly be blood, but as you can see here, that says it's caked with dirt. That's scratch marks. Those don't look like scratch marks to me. And that's a cluster of TVs. But everything is so blurry and ill defined that doesn't help. That thing right there is supposed to be a human shaped blood stain. As we'll learn later, it's actually a body still. And not knowing that, it's like, what the heck do I do? I have a little clue about how our feet are what's guilty, and so we're getting basically a lay of the land. I'm going to interact with everything once more because I'm supposedly trapped in this room. I have an idea that I'm going to have to figure out a puzzle within a time limit, I'm assuming. And if I don't know where everything is, then got to be ready to do it. So that's me putzing around right here, checking every darn box in the room. It would have been great if this game did have like a little sign that you could interact with something of value. So a little flashing A button above Ray's head would be nice. That way I don't have to do everything over and over and over again. So my key doesn't work for there, but it may work in another place. Let's figure that out. Get that save key out. Good job. Solomon, you were thinking things through when you did this. So everything's beginning, remote control. Well, obviously that is related to the TVs. And we're going, oh, and then we got a clue there. A person can almost fit in there. It's so big. So guess what we're going to have to do later, people? Write that in your notebook if you're one that lose your memory after a certain while. So we move on. I'm trying to still figure out what the heck that is in the center of the room. I still don't know what that is. It's like a fungus, a potted plant. Who the heck knows? But it's there, and you can't interact with it, which is unique because I can interact with the blue boxes that have nothing in them. So again, we have our lovely colored, green-eyed, ring-wearing, glove-wearing murderer. I forgot her name, so we're going to call her Nancy for the rest of this. So we have it. There are toxins in the air, magical toxins that poison you over time, not instantly. And so if you breathe in too much, you'll eventually die. I don't know if there's a toxin out there that actually does that. Maybe. I know that's what carbon monoxide does to you, but I don't know if that's going to fly so well in a horror game. It's like I've made this special room where you have to run away, and I've left a car running in the room next to you, so if you don't get out soon, that car will kill you. But who knows? We'll continue on here. So, oh, extra special. She has extra potent special deluxe toxic poison. That's like, I don't know, iPad 2. So it doesn't make much sense, but heck, we're in a fantasy world and we're just going to believe that there are varying levels of toxicity to special poisons that go in the air that don't kill you immediately. Bingo. And looks like we can die, so let's save all over again. So their main mentality right now is they have to switch out. One person has the gas mask on while the other does clue searching. So at this point, I still don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm trying to look around the room to see if anything's changed. And we begin our journey in 3, 2, 1, go. We have our timer up in the corner that says how long we have left. I looked at the 19 minutes. I was like, holy crap, that's not going to take this long. I'm going to be done with this in 7 minutes. But that's not how it goes. So, wondering if this has any purpose. Doesn't so far, so I keep going, figuring out what I can do. The safe is still locked. I'm wondering if I'm able to interact. Everyday items inside. But there are scissors. So again, I'm pausing as much as I can to figure out what the heck do I use with scissors. I know there's stuff that's out of reach on the top that I know only Zach can access. But let's see if there's anything else. Oh, it's a mattress and it can be ripped apart with the scissors. So already, clue 1 goes with clue 2. Let's find something new entirely. And after a little bit of finagling, wow, we found a key. So I'm assuming this key goes to the safe right now. Not that one. Solomon, be more focused. And so we found wire inside the safe. Trying to figure out what the heck to use wire for at this point. Maybe it works with the TV or anything like that. Maybe I can unlock the chest by sticking the wire in it, but that doesn't do anything. The pair of scales matter not at all. And I'm still moving around that blood-shaped thing in the center. I'm wondering if he's going to give me clues, but of course he's Zach, so it doesn't matter. So finally, after I'm interacting with everything, I'll realize that what I really need to do is touch that blood stain in the middle. I thought it had no purpose because it was just blood, but like I said earlier, it's actually a body. So we'll see how long I'm trying to do things, but the wire does nothing, and so I'll just continually go back to noting that it is a very, very fine wire. So let's go back to see our hourglass, and we have less time. 2 minutes are going by, and Solomon is now starting to freak out, being like, what the hell's the deal? Yep, use that wire on that body. It's such a fine wire. I don't know what she means by that. Yeah, but it is a very fine wire. Does that mean it's very tiny, or is she really commending the quality of that wire? I don't know how adept she is at understanding the fine intricacies of the wiring business, but she notes that it's very, very fine. So again, we have something that maybe only Zach can access, and finally, I'm able to understand that I can interact with that blood stain. So we find another thing. I'm not able to interact with it by myself, so let's take out the wire again. Wow, I really tried to make that work. Trying to see if the clue helps me with anything, which it doesn't really. And I still haven't accessed the one little thing I need to do in order to make Zach get off his ass, which is go back to the bloodstain, choose the other option, and find out that he has a message on the floor. Wha-bam. Fortunately, I don't know what the heck to do with that. So the game helps you with that by at least giving that little description. Left down, right down, start, select, extra lives. So already now we have the sign. The gas is hitting her. That was the main thing I needed to do. I basically needed to interact with every possible thing that Ray was able to do so. I've complained about this before, where it's more compulsive that you have to reach every objective, where I may have wanted it to be a little more variety, but then again, here's a game where the visuals are so hard that I didn't even know I could interact with that blood stain on the floor. So I send Zach to get all the items above it. So we now have a crowbar, I believe? No, it's a poker, because that's a thing. So let's figure out if the poker works, but we'll move it. And in the process of doing so, We found a leg. No, it didn't come off. It was already severed. Oh well, guess I'll take this leg to her. What? Why the heck would I think that a leg was applicable? But then again, it's Zack. That's probably something that he enjoys doing, is like grabbing a leg or a finger, or, you know, let's just take that later. So this is an important point, is like he'll smash till it's opened. I didn't exactly know what that was, and that's probably my fault for not detecting this little clue, because you'll see how long I suffer from trying to figure this out. Most of the time he's not able to destroy things, but what I'm supposed to do is just jam on the A button on that stupid thing until I get it. So I made a goofy joke and I have a bag of weights, so let's put it on the scale. Want to put the bag of weights? Nope, not able to do that. What if I put the legs on it? What if I put other things? I'm not able to do so, and so it doesn't work so well. This is the frustration that I find here, is I may have the idea of what I need to do, but because it doesn't let me interact with the right objects until I have everything put together, that's frustrating, because I could have already put the weight onto the scales to get a little idea of what to do. And then we look at the little written sequence once more to figure out what the heck that means. Right now I'm wondering if it has to do with that little box over there, but no, it doesn't do anything. So let's interact with it again. We try to move it, and it does nothing. Solomon's getting really desperate right now because 6 minutes have passed already, and I don't feel like I'm making any progress. So scales do nothing as well. And we wonder, what is the next process in all this? Nothing. Can't put the weight on the scales, and I'm really out of ideas. And at least he doesn't think it's a wire. He's not a connoisseur like Rachel is. Now, if I was probably doing commentary at this point, I'd just probably going, well, this doesn't work. This is stupid. Why can't I do this? I have a little more calm in me right now, but we're going to try to put the wire on it. But again, that doesn't work. Rachel, do you have anything? No. There are basically 2 parts in this that I need to do in order to be able to talk to her again. She tells me that I need to look at high places, so I try one high place. I'm like, oh yes, I got the way to go. And I try, but he's not able to get there, and I'm like, ah, crap, I lost it all. I'm a little intrigued myself how far I go with this. Talk to her again. It's not enough. There's something I'm missing. So let's see how many times I use the wire again. I'm pausing, hoping that means something, but the time is still ticking. Look at my inventory. No, trying to give her stuff, doesn't work. Let's go back to the dead body. Finally are able to access the machine, but again, no. And so it's at this process where I really wonder, how do you make something interesting to watch when you're streaming it? I imagine people who have played through the game or have a little more intuition than I do are like, what the hell are you doing, Solomon? It's right in front of you. Like, again, for the example of that cabinet, I should have known exactly what to do, but I didn't. And I could blame this on relative, insanity of this game, or logic doesn't, kind of takes a back seat to, just straight up text. But I can't really blame it. Finally figure it out, and I got excited, because finally I can progress the game. Hit the A button quite a bit, because that constitutes gameplay. And bam, there we go. And what did we get for all our trouble? Is a cleaning brush. Oh, what do you do with this? So he's gotten sick, gives me the cue that I can switch with Ray, and the world is bright and sunny because I think I can do things once more. So I have a little idea of where to use the brush, but not too much. Or maybe I did, I forgot about this point. So, go around. So far with how the puzzle's going, it's okay. I like the idea that it's in a singular room. So when I think you make puzzles join many rooms, you have too much backtracking and it becomes just a pain in the arse to remember where that you have to go. With everything being a singular room, you have a lot of different pieces that you have to decide for yourself. So again, I can't do anything with the scales. I kind of have an idea of what I need to do, but it's still not going to let me. Oh man, I'm really struggling. I'm almost past 10 minutes, and now I'm kicking myself wondering, am I really going to lose after I went into it so cocky? So, try to figure out if the blood-stained object means anything, and nope, but I'm going to be able to see that message in the ground once more. So say it all together, people. It is left, oh, is it? No, left, down, right, down, right, down. So, I couldn't even remember it, but we tried darn hard. Wondering if I can get up there, and finally, I'll eventually remember that there's a blood-stained object on the left side of the room. Typically, I'll give myself some credit here, is that looks like it's just part of the backdrop. It doesn't seem like you can necessarily interact with it. So when I finally do get the picture, I'm more angry at the game necessarily than I am with myself. In my last video, I talked a little bit how these traps almost seemed impossible for anyone to decide. We already know that someone came here and ultimately died. They got smushed by some sort of object, or they died or whatever by asphyxiation. We don't know. And so it makes you question how many people were able to get past this, because there's other villains on the floor. She obviously has seen a lot of people get past the Gravedigger and the Doctor. And so were they just not effective? Were these people more cunning? Obviously the other people were never hurt. And so what's the viability of this dungeon in the first place? We already know Zack is incompetent and didn't really kill that many people. So that's a layer that's never quite explained, and which you just really have to accept is part of the story, and you shouldn't question it. But finally we're learning a bit that I need to weigh the sins, but I tried to use the items first in order to interact with it. Nope, that wasn't the case. I needed to have to interact with the scales themselves, and then I could put a weight on it, and bam, I'm done. Unfortunately, I couldn't have done that by myself. I had to read that little, basically, blood stain over in the corner to get things done, and that to me is inequality. That's something that's just putting an extra loophole in for you to be able to figure things out. I find out that I need to talk to Zack to get advice. I push the wrong button, and then it created a problem. But he's still stupid, as we learn. So yeah, the intensity is still here in this puzzle. I remember that I was trying to go as quickly as possible because I do have 6 minutes and 30 seconds left, and a bunch of items I don't have anymore. And so, or that I have used, but in a bunch of ones I haven't. So I don't know how much longer, and it's getting me scared because I really don't want to redo this all. I could probably redo it in maybe 3 minutes, but the process that I even have to play 3 minutes more of this trap is like... So we finally get the idea that he can throw me on up there, and so we'll see some fancy work right here, and heave ho go. And so you begin to wonder how we couldn't use that in previous puzzles, because there probably were times where we could use that, including that dark room. Probably could have just thrown me to the other side and things would have been hunky-dory. So now I gotta figure out what can I do to make the flashlight work, and I'll admit this is my stupidity, because I'm gonna use everything, including the poker. When in reality I should just question what has batteries. So thank God I had endless ability to do this, because for some reason I think a brush is able to make things work. And then I'm like, oh, and Solomon was sad that day. But the lantern worked. It wasn't called a lantern earlier, but that's okay. Translation team, you tried your darned hardest. So with this process, I thought I should go left based on the puzzle that was provided to me, but as I soon learned, that's not the purpose. I find this hole, and then that's when things change. So I have my little poker, And there, oh, now you have to turn it. So let's remember it. Left down, right down, right down, right down. I think so. I remembered it in this game. I paid more attention. And bam, I got it done. So I got a little doohickey, and it's the card key, so I'm able to escape. At this point, I am having hope. 4 minutes is cutting it close, but we have it. I don't even get to see what's on the other side, which makes me really question if there was anything else. But who knows? This is maybe where replay value comes in. Uh-oh. And Rachel is starting to die a bit. You guys can do it. Brings up a little more intensity. Makes you question, can Rachel survive out of this? Even if we get through, will she be okay? And the answer is yes. Because if Rachel were to die in the middle of this all, that'd be kind of cool, and the story would be a little more innovative, and that's not happening thus far. So, we tried the card, it didn't work, and Nancy comes back, and she's like, oh, you thought that was going to work. Oh, no, get out of town, because that's what we say in this generation. Get out of town. You thought I'd let you live. What a dork. Nope. So, instead, we are going to be treated to more pain and more potent gas. And so how the heck do we get out of here? Things get greener, and that means the toxicity is up, because that is the universal color of poison. So once again, we have to confirm that we need to get out alive so that he can kill her, because the only way she can die is supposedly by his hand, because she has a deep conviction to do that. But at least I'm able to save in this spot. The timer is gone at this point. Oh, we need batteries, and by this point, Solomon knew where to get the batteries. And this is where finally I realized this is where the wire is relevant, which is frustrating because I had this wire all the time, and I noted that it was very fine, but it did absolutely nothing up until this point. Which I guess is fine. Now we got to figure out what I'm actually going to put it in, and this is where I struggle a lot more. When I should realize it just goes in necessarily the rag, but you know, we got that. And so with her little doohickey, she has a battery, 2 wires, and a rag. And if it catches fire, it'll explode. But this is where the logic kind of flies in the face of strange stuff. Of why is that little device can explode, and is the toxin so powerful that it'll burn the entire room? But this is where it's relevant to hide in the safe, to escape to safety. And 3, 2, 1. A fire. So, get this. This explosion is so powerful, it's going to destroy the door that I couldn't get past and burn the entire room. I'm glad that they acknowledged that it's hot, but I'm surprised they weren't cooked alive. This is the equivalent of Indiana Jones escaping that nuclear field by putting himself in a refrigerator. It makes for an interesting action move, but it really doesn't make sense. They'd all come out as basically roasted turkeys. But that's not the case for this. So we're finally able to get out of this puzzle. It lasted a long time. I was exhausted by the end of this all, but this is where I decided to end. So again, I appreciate you all for watching this video with me as we progress in Angels of Death. We'll see if I continue to tinker with this style of talking over the video. But this is around where we're going to end it. We'll finish up the dialogue in order to go on to the next puzzle. But I was tired, you're tired, let's take a nap. And so, well, bye.